Hi guys. Well, before he came to earth as a human being, God the Son was with the Father. No one created him. He has always existed. God created the first people, Adam and Eve, but they did not obey him, which is why we need a Savior. We can't be in heaven with God if we have sin. Well, all along, God planned to send his Son to earth to save people from sin. At just the right time, Jesus came to earth as a baby. He was born to Mary, the wife of Joseph. That's the day that we celebrate as Christmas. Well, Jesus is different than any other baby who was ever born because he is fully God and fully human. So like all people on earth, like you and me, Jesus' family had a history, a family tree. Jesus had parents, grandparents, and great-grandparents back and back for many generations, just like us. Well, Jesus was born into the family of Abraham and the family of King David. Abraham had a son named Isaac. And when Isaac had a family, one of his sons was named Jacob. Jacob was part of Jesus' family. Years later, a man named Salmon was born into Jesus' family tree. He married Rahab, who hid the Israelite spies when they came to Jericho. We've studied about that in Sunday school. Rahab had a baby and named him Boaz. And Boaz was a farmer, and he married Ruth. Boaz and Ruth had a son named Obed, and Obed's son was Jesse. Jesse had many sons, and his youngest was David. Remember, we learned about when David was just a boy, and he was chosen to be Israel's king. Well, King David liked to write, and he wrote songs called the Psalms, and it's a book in the Bible. And some of those Psalms were about the time when Jesus would come to earth. Other people in Jesus' family were kings too. David's son Solomon was a king. King Jehoshaphat was part of Jesus' family, and so was Uzziah, Ahaz, Hezekiah, and Josiah. When God's people returned home from exile in Babylon, there was somebody born named Shealtiel. His son was Zerubbabel. And later, Matthan came along, and Matthan's son's name was Jacob, and Jacob's son's name was Joseph. And this Joseph is the man who married Jesus' mother, Mary. Joseph raised Jesus as his own son. Jesus was truly God's son, the Messiah. We all have a family tree, and this is Jesus' family tree. Jesus came to earth as a human. He had earthly parents, Mary and Joseph, but his true father is God. Through Jesus, God kept his promise to Abraham and David. Jesus saves people from their sin and adopts them into God's family. Aren't you so thankful for the family tree that made Jesus, the family tree, all the people that had to be in place for Jesus to come and be born and to live in the family that he was in? It's really neat to study about our families. Maybe this week you can talk to your mom about your family tree. You can find out who your grandparents were and your great-grandparents. Some people know who their great-great-great-grandparents were. So anyway, I am so thankful for the family tree that includes Jesus, and I am grateful that because I have accepted Jesus as my Savior, that I'm adopted into God's family. And I hope you are too. So you guys have a good week. We'll talk to you next week.